Just spend 15 minutes listening to people at an overlook. Just tune in. What are the kids saying? And I'd almost guarantee you, if you stay there long enough, you'll see plenty of evidence that seeing one of our big bull elephants or a couple of those cows 40 or 50 feet away is something they don't forget. When they see something on television, whether it's one of our wonderful films that's now made, or whether it's an appeal from World Wildlife Fund or someone like that, the fact that they've actually seen and maybe even smelt and heard a rumbling elephant sticks in the memory to a much greater degree than, say, simply seeing planet Earth, because it's 4,000 miles away. It's remote from your experience. That's the way that our exhibit has been designed, is to have you on a level with those animals, relatively close to. And I defy anyone, unless they're very sort of anti-keeping anything in captivity, I defy anybody not to be impressed by that sight.
Well, right over here in this exhibit we've got Tonga, late 20s female, and her 7-year-old calf, Batir. We brought them here from a facility in Arkansas because she is obviously a proven breeder, and the calf is a female, which hopefully soon she'll be old enough to breed and be part of our breeding program so that we can create a sustainable population and a family of elephants here in North Carolina and build from there. You can tell if you're around them enough that there's something going on inside their head. They're very intelligent, they're very large, they're very unusual looking. They interact with each other, and you see lots of animated kinds of behaviors. I mean, if you spend any time with them, you can see there's just a lot going on there.
This is one of the best zoos in the country for elephants, but even given that, it's still not adequate for a species that is Earth's largest land mammal. And we're talking about incredibly intelligent, complex individuals who are self-aware, and they're also free-ranging. They walk 10, 20, 30 miles a day in the wild.
I believe that it's really about the quality of space, that and that we need to really understand what elephants truly need. I mean, their needs in the wild are different than their needs in captivity. Most of the animals that we have in captivity, pretty much this is all they know. We can't replicate the wild, but we can provide a lot of similar opportunities that they would have, and lots of choice, and particularly social opportunities, and that's the idea of getting lots of animals together. If you can provide for the needs of the elephants as you've come to understand them, then you're probably going to be okay. And what you look for is if you have maladjusted animals or unhealthy animals or whatever, then maybe it could be that the exhibit's too small, but it could be your programming, it could be the training program, it could be the enrichment program, it could be nutrition, it could be the social aspects that are going on. It could be that you have an animal or animals that they've already got problems from previous experiences being in some place that was unhealthy for them, and now you've got them and you're trying to provide a better chance for them, but they're still carrying baggage from wherever. So I think we've got, great things going here, but there are other zoos with smaller exhibits that are doing great things too.
I don't want to be highly critical of the North Carolina Zoo because they are one of the better zoos in the country. They're trying to do the best with what they have here. They do use a more humane method of training the elephants called protected contact, which means they only use positive reinforcement, no physical punishment, that kind of thing. We have a pretty good climate for elephants here. But what I would like to do is sort of push the envelope a bit for them. We're lucky to have a really beautiful zoo here with 2,900 acres. I'd like to see them give a lot more space to the elephants. Well, I think it's not acceptable when the cost to the elephants is so high. People don't actually see when they come here because they don't know. They don't really know about what elephants really are. And they don't know that swaying behavior right there is abnormal, stereotypic behavior, like the kind if you go to a mental hospital and you see a person bobbing their head. It's not because the North Carolina Zoo beats the elephants or anything like that. They give them as much space as any zoo does currently. It's just because these conditions are just not adequate. I believe the trade-off for the elephants, the cost is too high right now. I don't think people should feel guilty, but I hope that they should feel curious enough to learn more and to really take time to understand what an elephant really is. So there are a lot of resources out there to learn about what an elephant life should be. And then I think if people come here and see this, they make their own decisions about it. But I'd like to see the public become a little more informed about, you know, what elephants truly are.